Hi, this is Chase with KIA, the Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority, and I'm the outreach counselor for Far Western Kentucky here in beautiful Paducah. Today, I'm excited to share with you two of our state grant programs, CAP and KTG. Throughout our conversation, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about what grants are, why they're beneficial, and then we'll get a little bit more specific about the Kentucky State grant programs, how students are eligible, what types of schools they can use those awards at, and even how much those awards might be worth. So stay tuned, we've got tons of great information today. So quickly, I want to mention to you all grants, give you kind of a general overview so you have a good sense of what we're talking about. Here on this chart, we see the four major types of financial aid. And remember, when we talk about financial aid, we're talking about money designed to help us pay the cost of college. The four major types are grants, scholarships, work study, and federal loans. You can see from the slide here that grants are need-based money without repayment. Now, you may wonder to yourself, how do I show a college that I have need? And the answer to that question is by filling out the FAFSA. Seniors, if you haven't done so yet, the FAFSA opens October the 1st of every year, and you need to fill out that FAFSA as soon as possible. Grants are wonderful tools because, like the notes mention, you don't have to pay grants back. But the thing to remember about grants is that grants are first come, first serve. That means those students who successfully complete their FAFSA first are higher in line than are those students who complete the FAFSA a little bit later. So the earlier you fill out your FAFSA, the better, the more opportunity that grant money is still going to be available. In terms of grants, you may have heard of a Pell Grant, P-E-L-L, and Pell Grants are national grants from the federal government that go to institutions all across the country. Today, we're going to be narrowing in a little bit on some Kentucky grants. So these are a little bit different and a little bit narrower in scope. CAP and KTG are two Kentucky-specific grant programs, and they're administered by us at KIA. Remember, just like I mentioned a moment ago, grants are financial aid awards that are based on need and do not have to be repaid. Much like the federal government provides the Pell Grant, we in the Commonwealth of Kentucky are so thankful to be able to provide CAP and KTG to Pell eligible students. So remember, I told you all a moment ago that Pell Grants are those national grants. And even if you're partially eligible for a Pell Grant, you may see that you receive either CAP or KTG if you attend a participating institution. So CAP, what is it? The CAP grant is the College Access Program, and the CAP grants help Kentucky's financially needy undergraduate students attend eligible public and private colleges, proprietary schools, and technical colleges. So, to be eligible for a CAP grant, a student must, one, be a Kentucky resident. So you have to live here in the Commonwealth. Number two, have a financial need. Remember earlier when I mentioned financial need, the way we demonstrate financial need in applying for financial aid is by completing that FAFSA. Remember, the FAFSA is not a one and done process. You complete that for every year that you hope to receive financial aid in college. The student must attend an eligible college. In this case, we're talking about those schools that are participating in the state of Kentucky. Student must have no past due financial obligations to KIA or to any Title IV program. So, for example, defaulted student loans. The student must also be enrolled at least half-time in a program that's at least 2 years in length. So, if you're a student who's going to get a certificate that may only last a semester, you probably wouldn't be eligible for the CAP grant. But if you were looking to work toward a 2-year associate's degree or a 4-year bachelor's degree and you were enrolled half-time or more, you may be eligible for that CAP grant. The award, and these numbers reflect last year's academic awards, these may change as the academic years change, but the award is currently $2,000 per year at a 2-year institution. So one of our KCTCS community colleges would be a great example of where students would receive a $2,000 CAP grant. The award is $2,200 at a 4-year institution. So were you to choose one of the state's public or private universities, the award would be closer to $2,200. How do you apply? You fill out the FAFSA, and remember, it's a first-come process. As the The earlier you file that, the better that you are. KTG. So the second part of our Kentucky State Grant Program is KTG. That is the Kentucky Tuition Grant. This one has a bit of a narrower scope than CAP because these grants are provided to need-based students in Kentucky who attend eligible Kentucky private colleges. So if you remember earlier when we talked about KTG, we talked about different types of institutions, but KTG specifically works with the private college system here in Kentucky. So just like we looked at CAP, I want us to look at KTG. In order to be eligible, the student must be a Kentucky resident, must have financial need. The financial determination of need is made by the college. Other scholarships and grants that a student receives may reduce or eliminate financial need for this program. So the college has some say-so here in the KTG program that's a little bit different than how the CAP program operates. The student must attend an eligible college, must be enrolled full-time in an associate's or bachelor's degree program. So you'll find that many of these are very similar to the CAP qualifications in that you need to be enrolled in an associate or bachelor's degree program. For KTG, slightly different because you need to be enrolled full-time in one of those programs, and it must be at one of the private Kentucky colleges or universities. Also, the student must have no past due financial obligations to KIA or any other Title IV financial aid program, very similarly to a CAP grant. The award, it's up to $2,960. The application, same process as CAP. We want you to complete that FAFSA as soon as possible, starting on October the 1st. Remember, grants are first come, first serve. So the sooner you complete that FAFSA, the earlier you hold your spot in line to hopefully be eligible for one of those grants. Have any more questions about things like grants, scholarships, loans? We're here to help. You can text Outreach to 1-800-928-8926 and receive all sorts of text message blasts that tell you all great information about those types of programs. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat. Thank you all so much for sharing this conversation with me today. And until next time, we hope that you'll browse our channel and see tons of the content that we have to offer. Have a great day.